From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on today's Cash Close. And the name of this video, traders, the S&P 500 futures and unchanged in 2015. The high of the day in the S&P came in at 2048 half midday. The low came in at 2035 quarter at about 10 o'clock Central Time. And last, we're 2049 even. We're down 1.75 handles. Total volume is super low. We have 685,000 minis traded, with 83,000 of that coming from, 83,000 of that coming from Globex pre-open. And the pit, we have a total of 1.8 thousand traded. MOC, the MIM, started out showing small to buy, increased up to like 200 million to buy, and the actual MOC came out by 275 million MOC. Okay, so tomorrow we've got the Redbook, we've got the Shiller case, HPI, we have consumer confidence, and we have a 5-year note auction. Now, I want to talk a little bit about thin to win, because I don't think this thin to win stuff's over yet. It'll be over when everybody gets back at their desk. But, I talked about thin to win going into Thursday, and how last Thursday ago, and how I thought that the S&P could rally. And it did. I said we could get all the way back to 2070. We got all the way back to 2059.75. We got back down to up to 2060 on Friday, and then we had that 10-handle sell-off on the close. That set up this kind of lower negative tone kind of prices that we saw today. But I'll tell you what, when they got down to 2035-ish, I started going out in the forum, and I started going out on Twitter. I started telling people I was starting to see bids come in. And then not long after that, I said I thought the low was in for the day, and that was that for the low. Now, as far as that sell-off on Friday, the 10-handle dip, look, when the volumes are this thin, any fund that has 5,000 to 10,000 minis to come in to sell, and there's no bids, that's probably what set that up. Some big seller came in on the close, pushed the futures down at a discount. In comes some selling on the open. Foreign marks don't act all that great. In comes some sell programs, and then it's back to business as usual going into the end of the year. And I want to remember, everybody, T+3. So I think that started today. But anyways, look, for all practical sake, the S&P, this is done for the year. My own guess is that we can get back up toward 2060 plus, maybe even 2070 going into the end of the year. But you know what? At the end of the day, the S&P settled last year at 2052 quarter. That means that we're basically, after all this thrashing and crazy ups and downs and all these false starts to the downside and all these false starts to the upside, the S&P is basically going out unchanged on the year. It's unbelievable. But you know what? I want to reiterate something. It's very unlikely that these big fund traders, the guys at the big mutual funds or investment firms or hedge funds, are going to be coming back this year. They already have their bonuses set. Most of their positions have been kind of cut back. There were stories about this back in late October, early November. A lot of the hedge funds had lowered their risk in the stock market, gotten out of stocks, and probably for good reason. There's not a lot of profits being sloshed around right now in the stock market. So, look, I'm going to end it like this. There's not going to be any 2100 in the S&P. There's not going to be any 2150 in the S&P, and nor is there going to be 2200 in the S&P. But that said, there's always next year. And as an optimist, and I am an optimist at heart, I'm always looking forward, and I'm always looking to the next year. And that's what I'm doing now. It was an okay year. It wasn't a great year. And I'm thinking that next year is going to be better, and I hope you guys agree. And do me a favor. Give me a little shout out on the YouTube channel. Let me know you guys are out there. Let me know you guys are still listening to me. Jeez, kind of lonely around here, And then finally, I want to do a last shout out. Go to the website, go to my Facebook, sign up for the end of the year contest. I want to give you $1,000 if you can pick where the S&P closes with its special cash settlement. You got to remember that. Don't forget that. And whoever picks it, I'll send you $1,000. Everybody can use $1,000. That's 20 $50 bills or 10 fun tickets. And you can go and do anything you want with those. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'll see you guys on the opening print.